everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rynsey, and thank you for finding this beard scratching video today, which is going to have a little extra bonus as we're going to do a tattoo tour. Now, I don't have that many tattoos, but I do love them, and we'll just talk a little bit about them. Everybody sit back and relax. We're going to start off with some beard scratching to relax you first. Sit back and relax. Sit back and relax. So, I figured we'd talk about the first tattoo that I've got when I was 18 or 19 years old, and it's on my right arm right here. Sorry, forgive the farmer's tan, and let me lower this down a little bit. This is my first tattoo that I've ever got. Forgive the farmer's tan once again, and it's an EKG line, like a heartbeat. Now, I was 18, 19 years old searching the 56K modem internet for what I want my first tattoo to be, and I was really intrigued by the heartbeat line. Why, I don't know. I just thought it looked cool, to be honest with you. And I went ahead and designed one myself, kinda, and I took it to a shop that was recommended to me by my father, of all people. And the guy, I remember, I was kind of naive and nervous, and they weren't being jerks, but they weren't being helpful. And I showed him my drawings, which looked similar to this, and I told him what I wanted, and he came back with something, like, not at all like this. It was like a jagged line that was symmetrical, and not with the heartbeats, I should know what they're actually called, it's slipping my mind. But it didn't have those points. What's it? PQRST lines? I think that's what they're called. I gotta look this up. Please forgive me. Anyway, it didn't look anything like this, and I'm trying to explain to him what I want, and he draws it incorrectly again, and then I draw it again, even though I had a drawing, and he finally got it kind of right. He just really didn't want to be there that day, and I don't think he did that great of a job. I mean, it looks okay and everything, but if you kind of rub your fingers over it, the black lines, he was digging in so hard when he was doing those black lines that it's like scarred underneath of it, and it's slightly raised up. None of my other tattoos are like that, just this one. I don't really think he was that good of an artist. I couldn't even tell you his name. But anyway, this is our first tattoo here. Got that, let's just say 18 to 19 years old. I think it was 18, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it had to have been 18, because I graduated high school while I was 18, and it was like not too long after graduation of high school, so I was 18 when I got that. Anyway, that was my first tattoo. We'll get to the rest shortly, and maybe at the end I'll tell you guys what I want my next tattoos to be, which are going to be very expensive, because I'm gonna pay for a quality artist. That's something I learned and something I can definitely give you advice on. If you're thinking about getting a tattoo, don't price shop. Find the artists, review their work, find the artist you like, and if you like that artwork, it's going to be on you forever. Pay the price that they are giving you, within reason. It's going to be on you forever. Get the artwork right. Pay for it. It'll be worth it, and you'll be really happy. So up next, next is my second tattoo, and that's this big cross right here. Let me come on this side. That's this big cross. So I kind of designed this myself, but the artist took some liberties that I really didn't want him to take. I was 22 when I got this, still really nervous and naive. I wanted like the heart to be prominent, and the blue cross, it was supposed to be like a blue glow coming out from behind it, but this is what he drew, and I thought it looked cool, but it wasn't really what I wanted. Should have spoke up. Young stupid kid. Sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. Anyway, it's kind of cool. It's got that sacred heart with a like almost concrete broken cross around the edges with a blue glow, almost like glass behind that broken concrete. The one thing that I cannot stand about this tattoo is the thick border around the whole cross. It's like, if you take that away, it's like a 3D, like an object, not a drawing, but that hard line around the edges of the cross makes it look like a drawing. I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. I think that it could have been done a little bit better, but that is what it is. I do still like it. I kind of want to get a partial cover up and turn it into something else, and we'll discuss that towards the end of the video. If you're interested, stick around. Anyway, that's the second tattoo I ever got. While I was getting that tattoo, my best friend Deacon was there. This was early in our friendship, and he didn't drive back then. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go get this tattoo today, and he wanted to come, so he came, and little did he know he'd be sitting in a chair for 5 hours. I don't know what he thought I was getting, like a 2-minute tattoo or something. Nah, he sat in that chair for 5 hours all angry and pissed off. And it's on him, not on me, even though he still talks about it to this day. Well, anyway, whatever. Okay, we're gonna get into my third tattoo. Oh, by the way, a lot of my tattoos don't have meaning. People get so caught up in a tattoo needs to have meaning, or I'm getting this tattoo because of this, or this tattoo because of that. Dude, get a tattoo because you like it. And I'll be like, no, there's no meaning behind it, I just like it. And people look at me like I'm an idiot. Whatever, man, I love the artwork. I think it looks really good. I think tattoos, they tell a story on themselves, you know. Somebody has tattoos, they don't have to have meaning. It can just be the artwork, and that artwork, maybe it speaks what they feel inside coming out. I don't know. My tattoos don't have meaning. I just really, really like them. You know, that's actually in my job being a physical therapist assistant, working with geriatric patients. One of the hardest things is, it's not hard, but everyone 80 years old and up, what do your tattoos mean? Or why did you get those tattoos? You're ruining your body. And a difficult thing that I have to deal with is gaining the trust of an elderly person when they don't understand or respect, or they just don't like people with tattoos, or they think I'm like a bad guy or something. Like I'm not good at what I do because I have tattoos. It's a different time now, and I understand why they feel that way. But it's just kind of difficult having these. Like, sometimes if I know, or I'm told ahead of time, that a patient might be a tough cookie to crack or a tough nut to crack, might be a little stubborn or set in their ways, I have some compression sleeves that I put on just for the first time meeting them, so I can build some trust. And then the second time I see them, I'm like, okay, let's get started. And then they kind of have to work with me because they know what I'm about. Little trick of the trade. Anyway, my third tattoo was done in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Let's see here. How am I going to do this? This is proving difficult. I didn't think this part through. My next tattoo is this castle, and that was done in Albuquerque, New Mexico. On a whim, and I use this term loosely, working with a band that my friends are in called Ruiner, and they're like a hardcore punk band. They're retired now, but they do comeback shows from time to time. Anyway, we were in Albuquerque, and one member wanted to get a tattoo, and was like, why don't you get this church? And it was a piece of flash art on the wall. It was a church sitting on a cloud, and I think it had a rainbow behind it. And I said, well, turn that church into a castle, turn that cloud into a mountain, and turn that rainbow into a setting sun, and I'll get it. And that's what came out. We got a little setting sun right there. Got a castle sitting on a mountaintop with a purple glow behind it. And that's the story behind that tattoo. It means nothing, no intimate meaning or anything like that. It was just a spur-of-the-moment thing that my friend suggested, and I wanted to get a tattoo, and I got it. And the artist, right then and there, he turned the church into a castle, he turned the cloud into a mountain, and he turned the rainbow into a setting sun with a purple glow. And that's the quick little story behind that. Nothing too crazy. But it was fun, that I went on three or four tours with that band, doing like roadie-like stuff, moving equipment, setting stuff up, always running the merch table, selling shirts and albums and records and vinyl and things like that. Keeping track of the money. Obviously, I handed that off to the band at the end, but anyway, it was fun. I've traveled across the United States and back 3 times. I've traveled east to west across Canada. I actually snuck into Canada once. That's a story on itself. And I traveled around Europe for 30 days, 10 different countries in 30 days. And that was really fun. But we were always moving, and it wasn't a lot of time for sightseeing or just like being a tourist. A little bit. It was a lot of fun, a lot of beautiful scenery, a lot of beautiful buildings. I think my favorite place that we went was the Czech Republic. Prague, to be exact. It was gorgeous. I freaking loved Prague. Also, I'm 25% Czechoslovakian, so that was kind of cool to be there. Also, we went to Germany, and I'm 50% German. And I'm 25% Italian, but believe it or not, we didn't go to Italy. Oh well. Anyway, back to the beard. And I'm sorry, I keep moving the microphone around. This was a kind of an impromptu video, and the idea just sort of came to me. Beard scratching plus tattoo tour. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so my next tattoo is probably my favorite one, and that is this ship that's on my arm. I don't know if you can get a good shot of it. Let's see. So the ship starts right there. So I got that ship with that water, black and white ship with the purple water. It was probably 15 years ago. Took 3 sessions to do. First the outline, then the fine shading on all of those planks of the boat, then the watercolor and a little bit more shading, and I hope you can hear my voice as I was standing up right there. So this is one of my favorite tattoos. It's actually my favorite one. I think it's awesome looking, and once again, there's no story behind it. I just wanted a beat up, busted clipper ship looking like it just got out of a pirate war. And it turned out great. This dude is awesome. And he did my next 2 tattoos as well. I just wanted this beat up ship, almost like a pirate ship. Not necessarily a ghost ship, but it's kind of a ghost ship. And he also got the style I was looking forward to. I wanted black and white with one accent color, and that accent color was that aqua blue light color for the water. And then my next 2 tattoos, I went with the same style because I think it's, a statement, makes a statement. It's kind of, iconic's not the word, but it just looks good. So anyway, let's get back to this beard a little bit. That ship, I love it. It wasn't cheap, but like I said, find an artist's work you really like and you connect with, and if the price is okay and decent, pay the extra money, because it's gonna be worth it. let's get back to this beard. If you've made it this far in the video, I'm tentatively planning to do my first live stream at the end of October. Let me know if you would watch a Rynsey ASMR live stream. Just chatting in real time, doing triggers, I'll take requests. It'll be fun. I think it'd be really fun. We'll see what happens though. Let me know down below. Oh, that was so cringy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so my next tattoo was a quick little one that I wanted to have done, and once again, there's not a deep meaning behind this. I just kind of always wanted this style of tattoo, and before I get into it, my mom is alive and well, thank God. It is my mom tattoo, which is a hummingbird because, well, I guess this does have a meaning. She absolutely loves hummingbirds, and I wanted to get a bird tattoo, but it turns out that a hummingbird is the first bird that I got, and it's holding a mom banner with a red glow behind its head, because my mom's favorite color is red, from what I understand, and it looks great. Look at the style of it. It's kind of hard to see. Let me focus on it. So, if you can tell, there's a lot of just dots. A lot of dots make up the shading. Most of it is dots that kind of shade it, not just a pen or a needle that's drawing across doing the shading. It's teeny tiny little dots, and you'll be able to see that more on my next tattoo. But it's called stippling. Stipple, 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 stipple. And I lost track after that. It's a type of tattoo shading where you just use tiny little dots, and I think it's amazing. I love this tattoo so much. I always wanted a mom tattoo. I remember being a kid and watching The Simpsons, and Bart, during a Christmas special, is getting a tattoo that says mom, or it says mother, and Marge stops him early, and all it says is moth, and he walks around with a tattoo that says moth. There are actual people in this world who get that tattoo to this day. Anyway, I really love this tattoo. I think it looks great. I think it fits great where they put it in, and it's adding to the eventual sleeve of tattoos I'm going to have on this arm. Once again, we're going to talk about some future tattoos at the end of this video. Anyway, we have one more to talk about, and it is, the ship is my favorite one, but this is a very, very close second. And I know that you have all seen this big tattoo on the other side of that left arm, and we'll talk a little bit about it. Once again, my tattoos really don't have meaning to them. I just love the artwork, and the artist that I use is amazing, and he draws this all freehand himself, and it looks great. And that tattoo is this one. It is, let's see here, it ties into the ship. The ship is right here, and it is a giant shark fighting a giant octopus with that same color, turquoise, aqua blue water that ties into that ship over here. That is a big, giant octopus with its tentacles wrapped around a big, giant shark fight, and the shark is biting the tentacle, and the octopus is dragging the shark down. One time, we were at a diner, me and my friends, and we were talking about who would win in a fight between a giant squid and a giant shark. And I always said giant squid because it has that beak underneath of there. And you can just latch on and start digging. I forget what everybody else said. This was years ago. But I used that idea in this tattoo. Instead of a squid, I used an octopus because I thought an octopus's tentacle would have a better look on a tattoo while attacking a shark than a squid. And the artist thought so too. So that's what we went with. Now, if you look at this tattoo, let me scoot forward. The shark has traditional smooth shading, because sharks are smooth and have, the scales that kind of make them smooth. And the octopus has that stippling, all those little dots. voice sounds okay this close to the mic, but if you can get past my freckles, you can see tiny little dots making up that shading, and that took for frickin' ever, but it's so worth it. Like, look at that. I wish I had my new iPhone. This would look a lot better. There you go. All those tiny little dots on there make up that stippling. So, anyway, yeah, I wanted a tattoo that would tie into the boat a little bit. They could use that same blue to wrap it around the arm. I really don't know what I'm going to get down here at the bottom of my wrist area. Honestly, I'm thinking of a bunch of, like, sunken treasure, like coins and diamonds and a staff or like maybe a treasure chest and gems and maybe like an old bottle of whiskey or like a trident or something, just a bunch of, or a goblet or a chalice, that's what I'm looking for. Just some ancient, just treasure sunken at the bottom of this ocean where these giant creatures are living. I think that would be pretty cool. But anyway, that's going to lead me into the end of this video where I'm going to discuss my plans for tattoos for my arms, and hopefully one day I can save enough money to get these tattoos, but I don't know if I'm ever going to with all these house things that we're doing around the house, home improvements. So first, up the rest of this arm, up here, once again, forgive the farmer's tan. So this tattoo is the one I mentioned I want a partial cover up, or I want to incorporate it into something else. So I want to have this kind of turned into almost like a relic. The cross itself is a relic. And to go with the sunken treasure at my wrist, I want to get like a dead, like, skeleton pirate. Like, he fought for his life to get to this relic but couldn't escape. So I want to have like the pirate's head here with a pirate hat, and he's going to be like gripping the cross. Maybe he's like sitting with the cross in front of him, kinda. He'll have a hook for a hand, have a peg leg, ripped up clothing, just a gnarly looking skeletal pirate. And it can come down here, and then I'll get something right here to fill in. I'm not sure yet. But I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if it can be done with how thick that dude made these lines. I don't know. Anyway, that's just an idea that I have. A skeletal dead pirate who was searching for all this treasure and finally got to it, but he couldn't make it out. I think that's a pretty cool idea. And then on this side, this whole arm, originally I wanted to have a outer space theme where it's all outer space, very colorful, planets, comets, moons, galaxies, things like that. I still like that idea, but I think something that I would like even more than that. Growing up as a kid, I loved dinosaurs. I wanted to be an archaeologist. I had I had a bunch of dinosaur toys. And I'm thinking on this arm, similar style with the black and white with the pop of color. I want to get a sleeve of fossils, like dinosaur bones, like maybe a raptor, a triceratops, a brontosaurus, a pterodactyl, or Tyrannosaurus rex. Just kind of like a collage of dinosaur bones, fossils. Not necessarily like they're alive, but in poses like they were alive, or maybe in battle or something like that. And then the filler, the pop of color, is going to be like a bright green, but instead of like this design like water or waves, it's going to be designed like Jurassic era, like ferns or leaves, kind of like you would see in a rainforest or a jungle. I think that would be pretty cool. Do them in black and white, the same style as the octopus and the shark, with that pop of bright green color that's subtly leaves. Like, you look at this and you see the shark and the octopus, and then you say, oh, and then there's water. I want that to be like, you see the dinosaur bones, and you're like, oh, look at those fossils. Oh, and there's ferns. That's great. I want the background color to be a quality filler, but not the eye-catching part of the tattoo. And once again, I guess that would have meaning because I loved dinosaurs growing up, but other than that, it wouldn't have a real meaning. I would just love the art, and I think it would look really cool. Let me know if you enjoyed this style of video. I enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. And I kept forgetting to rub my beard. I'm very sorry. But yeah, let me know if you like this style of video. Let me know if you have any ideas for tattoos that could fill in. Or like something for that skeletal pirate idea I had. If you think of something else, if you're an artist or you're just a very creative person, give me your ideas. You won't offend me as long as it's not something offensive. Let me know. Everybody, I want you to have a good night. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. If we haven't already, we are this close to 5K friends who subscribe to this channel. We're gonna get there soon. Have a good night, folks. Bye.